सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीतायाः पतये नमः। शुकासारिखे पूर्णवैराग्यजाचे वसिष्ठापरिज्ञानयोगेश्वराचे कवी वाल्मिका सारिखा मान्य ऐसा नमस्कार माझा तया रामदासा गणाधीश जो ईश सर्वा गुणांचा मुळारंभ आरंभ तो निर्गुणाचा नमो शारदा मूळचत्वार वाचा गमू पंथ आनंत या राघवाचा जय जय रघुवीर समर्थ। Lakshanas of realized person or devotee are given here not for us to identify such a person or to judge such a person or to comment on such a person, but in order to understand the state that the realized person is in, following which we can develop our own mind and decide what sadhanas, spiritual practices we must undertake to reach that state. So, when Samarth Ramdas Swami is explaining so many facets of that realized person's personality, Jagi Dhanya To Dasa Sarvottamacha, by having this refrain, when he is explaining all that, we have to look into our own life and see, okay, the realized person or the devotee does this, I don't do it, what can I do for it to get that quality in me? Or that person does not do it, but I do it, what can I do to remove that negativity from my life, from my mind? That is one very important aspect of seeing this Siddha Lakshana. Second important aspect is to see the living proof of all the Shastras. Many times when Shastras explain all these things to us, then we say, oh, but we don't know, we have never seen, we don't think it is possible. But when you see repeated explanations of a person who has reached and how they behave or how they are, and not just by the Vedas, but also by the other texts which are written by other people, and that comes in the flow, comes in the Guru Shishya Parampara, and even the recent saints, when they speak of all these great masters in the same way, we see them behave in the same way, we know that the Shastras are right. See, Shastras are not right or wrong because of somebody following it. That's not the point. But the point is, our faith in the Shastra will become strengthened, will become strong when we see living example of those Shastras. I hope you are understanding this point. So that is how faith is built. Somebody is new to you, you don't know that person at all, stranger, Okay, and you meet that person and the stranger suddenly gives some opinion to you, suggestion to you. You don't take that suggestion immediately. Why? Because you don't know that person. How can you have faith in that person? But once upon a time, a person who was a stranger, but after a lot of time it has become my friend. How? Because that person said something, I was not completely sure about it, but I see that thing happening. Then second thing also I saw it happening. Third time also I saw it happening. Then I say, yeah, he is right or she is right. Why? Because they said and it happened. The faith is built like this. So when Shastras are explaining that the state of Brahman is like that, which is absolutely equal, doesn't have any kind of desire, doesn't have any kind of anger, we sometimes get doubted how is it possible that sometimes that person might be getting some kind of anger, little bit, not like us, but little bit. But then when you see a person who demonstrates such qualities, then you say the Shastra is right. Your faith in the Shastra becomes strengthened. So when this kind of section comes where the Siddha Lakshanas are given, we must take those Siddha Lakshanas for that purpose. One thing, to decide our own sadhana, and second thing, to strengthen our faith in the Shastra. Right? So that is what Samarth Ramdas Swami is doing. Please remember, it is not for us to judge such jnanis or bhaktas. Oh, Shastra is telling, but he never gets angry. But you see, he is getting angry. Not like that. Okay? We have no idea about anybody's mind and what is happening in their mind. Forget about the realized person, even layman, even our own children, our own family members, our own wife, husband, parents, we don't know what is going on in their mind, whom we claim to be knowing very well. What to talk about Jivan Muktas and Bhaktas, etc. We have no idea what happens in their mind. Right? So please remember this point. It is not to judge somebody, but take a barometer and see Samarth Ramdas Swami says like this, is it happening or not? God has not given us any such task of finding out how many jnanis are there in the world and give your comment. It is not an academic project that I think like this. No, nobody has asked you to do anything like that. Vedanta is meant for us to look within. When the text says something like this, we should look within and see, oh, this is missing, let us put this. Oh, this is not required, let us remove this. Whatever changes have to happen inside, not somewhere outside in somebody's mind. That is the point. So, we saw in the last session, Made matsare sandili swartha buddhi, prapanchikana hi jayate upadhi, sada bolane namra vacha suvacha, jagi dhanyato dasa sarvottama. The person, that Bhakta doesn't have kama krodha, but other ripus also, other enemies of the mind are also not there. Mada, Matsarya, Swartha Buddhi, all these are also not there. His upadhi, his instruments of action are not meant for doing something of the world. It does not belong to samsara, the upadhi of such a bhakta. Sada bolane namra vacha suvacha. He always speaks in a very humble and sweet words. Jagi dhanyato dasa sarvottama. Such a person, the great servant of the best Lord, is dhanya, is blessed. Then how does that person live life? Krami velajo tattva chintanuvade. Continuously reflecting on the principles of Vedanta. Nalimpe kada dambhavade vivade. Does not waste his or her time in unnecessary discussions and debates and arguments, etc. There is one very beautiful Subhashita in Sanskrit which says, Kavya Shastra Vinodena Kalo Gacchati Dhimatam. It says, Dhimatam Kalaha, time of intelligent people or wise people goes where? Kavya Shastra Vinoda. Kavya means poetry. Sahitya, literature. They will read that. They will enjoy that. Shastra, Kavya Shastra. Second is scriptures, spiritual texts. And Vinoda, and in humor. This is the way of wise people spending their time. These are the ways. Kavya Shastra Vinodena. Kalo gacchati dhimatam. Okay. And what about the people who are not wise? Vyasanena tu murkhanam. Nidraya kalahenava. He says murkhanam kalaha. Time of fools. How does it go? Vyasanena. In some bad habits. Drinking or gambling or gossiping. Vyasanena tu murkhanam. Nidraya. Or if that is not there, then sleep. Best. Time is there, let us sleep. Or if they are not doing any of these, then kalaha. Then they will keep fighting with somebody. Now, as I said, Subhashitas, again, what should we? We should look into ourselves and see how we are spending our time. Are we spending time in Kavya Shastra Vinoda? Laugh and you make other people also laugh. Don't take life too seriously. But you remember here, laugh doesn't mean laugh at others. No. Not that kind of laughter. But just laughter, Vinoda, humor. So that is how people spend their time. We should look into our own life and see whether we are doing this or not. Or is our time going in nidra or bad habits, or nothing is there, then you start fighting with somebody. And some people they like fighting. They can't, something happens if there is no fight. So they have to have fight. Now if that is what naturally is, then the mind will be towards that only. We should not do like that. Kari sukha samvada jo ukamacha. And when he is that person is with people, what does he discuss? He discusses about the Lord, about the creation, about everything about the Creator. That is what they discuss. Jagi dhanyato dasa sarvottamacha. Sada arjavi priya jo sarvaloki. Such a person is very straightforward. Priya is loved by all. Sada sarvada satyavadi viveki. He always speaks truth, but viveki also. But he knows where to speak truth and where to keep quiet. Na bole kada mithya vacha trivacha. He doesn't say anything which is wrong, which is lie. Trivacha. Trivacha means thinking something, or first time said something else, second time something else, third time something else only. This is called a trivacha here. That person does not speak anything like this. Jagi dhanyato dasa sarvottamasa. Sada sevi aranya tarunya kali. Milena kada kalpaneche nimeli. Chalena mani nishchayo dridhajacha. Jagi dhanyato dasa sarvottamacha. Such a person enjoys living in solitude even in his young days. Milena kada kalpaneche nimeli. Doesn't get involved in any kind of imaginations and contrary thoughts of God, etc. He doesn't waste his time in that. Chalena mani nishchayo dridhajacha. Chalena mani means his mind does not waver, does not go here and there, does not get shaken. Nishchayo dridhajacha. Why? Because he is a person of fixed determination, strong determination. Jagi dhanyato dasa sarvottamacha. Such a person who is the servant of that great Lord is indeed blessed. Nase manasi nashta asha durasha. All these verses we have seen in the last session. Nase manasi nashta asha durasha. Nashta here means bad. That which will bring our end. That is called as nashta. So that dushta asha durasha. Nashta is here means dushta. That bad desires, nase manasi, is not there in the mind. Durasha, even the vasana is not there in the mind. Vase antari prema pasha pipasha. But what is there in the mind? In the mind there is love and thirst, longing for that Lord. Prema pasha pipasha. Last time we saw how love and longing can exist. Actually, longing is an expression of love. We were seeing last time, if you remember, Narada Bhakti Sutra also. What is bhakti? Naradastu tadarpita khilacharata tad vismarane paramavyakulata iti. What is devotion? Naradji says that according to me, to dedicate every single action unto that Lord, and in whose forgetfulness there is absolute pang, absolute pain, vyakulata. There is a, see, all these words are very difficult to translate in English. It's like a fish out of water. He is literally dying to meet, what we say, dying to meet that person, dying to see, dying to remember the Lord. And the example that he gives is Yatha Vraja Gopikanam. We saw in the last session how these Gopikas were. What kind of devotees. See, sometimes, as I was telling in the beginning also, when we study scriptures, we start judging people. And we go to such an extreme that we start judging ancient people also. People who are not even of our era. What they did with Ramachandra ji, and how was Ravana, and how was Bhishma and Dronacharya, and what they should have done and what they did wrong, and how they... But who has asked you to do any kind of analysis? You look at their life and see whether I can make some change in my life. We are not here to judge. So Gopikas also, when it is said, no, nowadays people have got such funny ideas about Gopikas and Bhagavan's relationship with Gopikas. Why? Because we don't read the original texts. We don't see who they were. In one place it is written that these Gopikas, in Bhagavatam only it comes, these Gopikas are actually reincarnations or rebirths of the Rishis. So in Ramavatara, when there were Rishis staying in the forest to meet whom Bhagavan Shrirama came to the forest and met, they wanted to, so they were all jnanis, they were all yogis, but they wanted to experience that love for God. And therefore they requested Brahmaji to give them that birth. And these rishis, who are, great seekers, jnanis, yogis, they are born as Gopikas. To experience that aspect of spirituality which is unlike any other. Therefore, we should be very careful as to what we are hearing from the people and what are we judging. We should not get into all these things at all. Forget about judging Bhagavan, that is too much. But even Bhaktas, even the people who are from our history, from our itihas, etc., we should not make that mistake. So, we should remember what qualities, what characteristics they had, and see if I can get something of that. Right? That is what we should be focused on. And when such devotees are there, who have so much of love for God and so much of longing for the Lord, Dhrani Devaha Bhakti Bhave Jayasa, Bhagavan becomes indebted to them. Bhakta Paradhina, he becomes their servant. We have so many such stories of Vithala, Bhagavan Vithala literally doing every menial job in Bhakta's house. Everything possible. He will take out water, wash clothes, press the feet, and massage the feet, and do those jata, I don't know what is it called, that old time that instrument used to be there, grains you put and then you keep on rotating it so that it becomes powder. I don't know in English what we call, but that instrument, so lady, girl, women, etc., they will keep moving that every day. It is said that while doing this, so what to do? For a long time, hand mill, okay, whatever. It doesn't have that flavor. What is hand mill? Too much. So with hand they used to do, that's why milling job, that's why that must be hand mill. But when you do that, what to do? There is so much of time every day you have to spend on that instrument. So, women of that time, they used to compose songs on Bhagavan in the same meter that is required for one round. So, every line, one round will be over. So, in that same meter, they used to compose. And when they will sing all these things every day, Bhagavan will come and sit on the other side and help them in doing that. Zatya, we call in Marathi, we have certain compositions which are called as Zatya. Zatya, all these things are for what? When you are sitting on that hand mill and doing it, they follow the same musical structure, metrical structure of that jata, of that handmill. So you see, Bhagavan will do anything for them. He will not. See, in Mahabharata also we see the story when Yudhishthira was to become emperor, then Rajasuya Yajna was done, and all kings have to assemble and they have to give support, saying that yeah, we agree, and then only he can become emperor. And to show the alliance to the emperor, to say that yes, we agree, different jobs will be allocated to each king and top people, not just king, but all the top people of all the kingdoms. So everybody who had come there, Shalya and all these people who had come, including Duryodhana, all, they were all given some jobs. That in that huge yajna where so many people are coming, you will do this, you will do this, you will do this, like this. And because the entire thing started, if you read that portion of Mahabharata is very beautiful, where Bhishmacharya openly calls Sri Krishna as Lord and says that you all fools, please keep quiet and listen to him. And that is the place where the Shishupala Vadha etc. also happens. Now you must have heard also all those stories. So Bhagavan is established as God even at that time. But even after that, he says that I also would like to take a job. And he takes 2 jobs. Number 1, when the puja, the priests and the brahmanas will come, I will wash their feet. And after everybody has finished their food, I will pick up the remaining plates. Eaten, whatever is remaining, no? That plates, that I will do. And he did that job. Imagine Lord of the universe, he doesn't have to do all that. Doesn't have to, but you see how he is showing the way. So we have to learn from these stories of Lord, not judge or not say that okay, this is like no. See how Bhagavan did. He is Lord of the universe, but still doing all these things. He literally becomes anything that the Bhakta wants, and probably he will become what Bhakta doesn't want also. It's not that Bhakta wants Bhagavan to do all these kind of things, but he will do whatever is necessary. That is how the Lord is, and that is how this great Bhakta is. Now in that series comes the last verse of that Siddha Lakshana. Let us read. Very famous verse again. Dinacha dayalu manacha mavalu snehalu kripalu janidasa palu taya antari krodha santapakaicha jagi dhanyato dasa sarvottamacha jai jai Raghuvira Samartha. Verse number 56. Very famous verse, as I said. Dinacha dayalu. This L is there. In many other languages, L is not there. So maybe a new letter. In some of the South Indian languages, it is there. Tamil, that is different L. This is different L. Malayalam has both. Ls. So, Dinacha dayalu, manacha mavalu, snehalu, krupalu, janidasa palu. What he says? Dinacha dayalu. Dayalu means compassionate. Dayalu. Daya yasyasti. Vatup matup pratyay in Sanskrit. That is this lu in Marathi. Dayalu means one who has daya, compassion. Compassion towards whom? Dinacha. Din means those people who are afflicted by pain, sorrow, who are poor, who have difficult life. For all such people, he is extremely compassionate towards all these people. Manacha mavalu. Mavalu means very soft. Maval is soft. So, Manacha mavalu means what? His mind, how is his mind? Very soft hearted. Who? We are talking about that Bhakta, okay? Not Bhagavan. Bhagavan is of course like this, but we are talking about the Bhakta who is also like this. That he is extremely compassionate towards the afflicted people, and he is very soft hearted. And you see, there is a very This is a very unique soft-heartedness. What do you mean by unique soft-heartedness? When something happens to them, they will not even shed a tear. They will be very strong, standing as though nothing is happening. Some, extreme pain, physical pain will be there, or some disease has come. You will not even look at their face, you don't even know that there is something wrong. But towards the sorrow of others, they become extremely soft. This is a very unique thing about these siddhas, about these bhaktas, you see. We are exactly opposite. When something happens to us, we immediately create such a drama. Why so much happened? I did so many, but it is not. We do full kind of thing. And towards the other people's sorrow, that keeps happening. And then we give them lecture. Then, don't worry, it is like this only. That is because we are not sensitive towards other people's sorrow. But these bhaktas are so sensitive towards other people's sorrow that they become very soft-hearted towards them. Towards others, towards themselves, they are very strong. They say, so what? Extreme opposite conditions. Gurudev always used to say, no, to look at yourself, look at from the head. When you look at others, look from heart. Don't use head there. Hey, why are you crying? You should not cry. Don't tell them whether they should cry or not. If they feel like crying, let them cry. Why should you support them? Understand their sorrow, understand. Now this is a quality that we also must learn. Here when it is said soft-hearted, doesn't mean that a very emotionally sensitive person for themselves. No. Towards other people's sorrow, that person is sensitive. But towards their own, physical ailments and diseases, etc., and all other kinds of, when people disrespect, they are very, very level-headed. No emotional, nothing. Great quality. Dinacha dayalu, manacha mavalu. Snehalu, is very friendly. Kripalu, full of mercy, compassion. Jani dasapalu, and towards all the people, dasapalu, one who protects, one who nourishes his servants. This is how. Now, again I am telling you, this is not the description of God. This can be used as description of God also, but here it is used as description of the Bhakta. Taya antari krodha santapakaisa. In that person's heart, how can there be anger or santapa? Santapa means impatience or irritation. How can there be? Jagi dhanyato dasa sarvottamasa. Such a servant of the great Lord is indeed blessed. Now when it is said again and again that krodha santapa is not there, anger is not there, sometimes we wonder, but we see so many stories of great people, they get very angry very fast. I told you last time, therefore I have that little bit of, what do you call, I don't like all these TV serials when they make serials on the great people's life, because they portray them very angry and all the time, they will curse and they will do this and they will do that. Actually, people are not like that, no. The great people are not like that actually. But sometimes we may wonder that we hear so many stories of Gurudev also where he got angry and where, you see, anger is a tool of teaching. We should remember that. Our mother also got angry on us. But that doesn't mean her love towards us came down. No, actually it was so much love that she got angry. The fact of the matter is we get angry on people for whom we have lot of love. Otherwise we will say, leave it. Why unnecessarily waste? Why waste your anger on such people? Now we can have general anger towards everybody. That is our own quality. You can't blame it on anybody else. But towards somebody, if we are angry, that is only possible if we love that person. And if we go on to express that anger, then 100% you love that person. So those great Mahatmas, when they show anger towards us, it is for our benefit. Because if they are not angry, we will do wrong things. So to keep us in discipline, they may show anger. And there is a difference between showing anger and being angry. Showing anger means what? Using that anger as a tool to finish some work and then keeping it again in the pocket. The person doesn't get affected by it. Whereas when we get angry, we get affected by it. Right? So, in reality, there is no anger or impatience, etc. in their mind. And it's a great thing. Because when you look at other people, how selfish they are and how incapable they are, someone wonders that how you are so much patient with all those people. That is because in their mind, in their heart, they are all these things. Dinacha dayalu, manacha mavalu, compassionate, full of mercy, friendly, loving, and very soft-hearted. That is their nature, and therefore they can be very, very patient with other people, and they love other people. They may show some anger at some times, but they don't get angry. Remember that there is one very famous story. In the Puranas, you will see one rishi or one character who is known for his curses. Anything bad, he will curse. Durvasa Rishi. And therefore, automatically when you read Puranas, when Durvasa Rishi keeps on cursing, they will portray him also in a very angry mode all the time. So, one very interesting story is there. You might have heard, I might have told, I don't remember, somebody else also. But the story goes like this, that once Durvasa Rishi has come and Yamuna ji is there, and on the other side of Yamuna ji, this Durvasa Rishi has come, and Shri Krishna avatar is going on, and Gopikas, etc., and all these people are there, and they want to go and visit Durvasa Rishi's ashram and take his blessings. So they come to Shri Krishna and they take permission to go there. This is later time of Shri Krishna, okay? Not the earlier time when he is small kid, etc. This is when he has become, kingmaker and all these things. He is very popular. He has wives and all those people also want to go. So when they come to cross the river, they see that the river is flooded with so much of water. So they return back. And they tell Bhagavan that we could not go because river is flooded. So they said, so Bhagavan Shri Krishna says, oh, it is like this. So you do one thing. You go to the river and tell that river, oh river, if Rishi Durvasa never gets angry, please give us way. If Rishi Durvasa never gets angry, please give us way. Now these all people are wondering, how is it that possible? We are going also to meet him out of fear only. That if we don't go, he may curse us saying that I was here, why didn't you come? So we are also going because we know his anger. But anyway, Sri Krishna has said, let us go and say like that. So they go to the river and say, oh river, if Rishi Durvasa never gets angry, give us the way. And immediately river, stops and gives them the way. They wonder how it happened. But anyways, they cross the river, they go, they pay homage to Rishi Durvasa, they meet him and take his blessings, and they are coming back. Now when they are coming back, again the river is flooded. So again they come and they say the same thing, but this time it is not working out. So they have to go back home, but they can't go. So they go back to Durvasa Rishi and say that this is what has happened, and because it is flooded, we could not go back. So please tell us what we should do. So Durvasa Rishi says, but then how did you come? Even while coming, it must have been flooded. So they say, yeah, it was flooded, but then Bhagavan Krishna gave one idea, and now they are hesitant to tell what idea Bhagavan gave. But he says, no, you tell me what he told. He said to pray to this river and say that, oh river, give us way if Rishi Durvasa never gets angry. And Rishi Durvasa started laughing, and he said, okay, you do one thing. Go back to the river and say that, oh river, give us the way if Bhagavan Shri Krishna is Brahmachari. Now they are like, we are his wives. We know he is not a Brahmachari. We have kids from him, and what are you saying? But they can't argue with Durvasa Rishi. So they go back again and say to the river, oh river, please give us way if Krishna is Brahmachari, Nitya Brahmachari. And river gives them the way. Now they are more confused what is happening. So they straight away go to Krishna and say, what is happening? You told it worked, but is it working other way around, that river gives way when you say something wrong? Then Shri Krishna explains to them how Rishi Durvasa never gets angry. And therefore, by extension, it means that how I am always Brahmachari. Brahmachari means one whose focus is always on Brahman. Celibate. This is a Leela when I am having so many wives and I am having kids with so many wives. That is just a Leela. Actually, Rishis never get angry. These Mahatmas, etc., they don't get angry. And if they get really angry, then they are not Mahatmas, they are not Rishis. These two things never go together. So that is something that we must remember. However, earlier only we discussed that these verses are not for us to judge those people. Don't go on judging other people. Everybody loves him. They think he is a Mahatma, but he gets angry, so he is not a Mahatma. You have no idea what happens in their mind. We all are such small matis, no? Small intelligences we have got, and with that we can't judge all the great people. And we should not try also unnecessarily, waste of time. We should see what we can do. Right? So that is what he says, and with that this topic gets over. Jagi dhanyato dasa sarvottamacha. Such a dasa, servant, sarvottamacha of that greatest Lord, Jagi, in the entire world, dhanya, he is blessed. She is blessed. That is what is the conclusion. Now what? How to become this Bhakta? How to become blessed? How to become fulfilled? That is what is given in the next 3 verses, where the topic is Bhakti without desire. Love God for no desire as such. That is a way to become blessed. So far, beautifully explained what are the characteristics of that person. Now, how to become that person? That is being explained. Let us read verse number 57. Jagi hoize dhanyaya Ram name kriya bhakti upasana nitya neme udasinata tattvata sara ahe sada sarvada mokali vritti rahe jai jai Raghuvira Samartha. He says, Jagi hoize dhanyaya Ram name. By taking the name of the Lord, everything becomes great in this whole world. Jagi dhanya hoi. Everyone becomes great by taking God's name. So if at all you want to become that Siddha Purusha or Siddha Stri, you want to become like that Bhakta, what you should do? Take Bhagavan's name. There is no, never take this Nama Japa as a light sadhana, as a simple sadhana. No, it has got tremendous power. Unimaginable power it has got. Right? And therefore we should never take it lightly. There is one story which shows the greatness of Bhagavan's name. There was a king. I always tell this story. I love this story. I had listened from Swamiji once. There was a king who had a Rajaguru, who had a Rajapurohit, who had a teacher to help him with whatever spiritual doubts he gets. So when that king would do something wrong, he will go to this Rajaguru and ask that, I have done this, mistake has happened. Please tell me what should I do. So once then this king does something wrong and goes to this Rajaguru, but he finds that Rajaguru is not there. Instead, his son is there in the house, and he welcomes the king and says that, my father has gone to some other village. He will not be coming in a few days. So please tell me what you want, O king. So king says that, I really wanted some help from your father because I have done something wrong and I don't know what to do. That guilt is eating me up. What should I do? So that Rajaguru's son, he asks, what did you do wrong? I have also studied little bit, let me try. If I know something, some prayaschitta that I can tell you. So the king says that this is what I have done, whatever mistake that king had done. He listens, that Rajaguru's son, he listens to the whole thing, and from his entire study of the Shastras, he doesn't know any particular prayaschitta that can be given for this mistake. But then he remembers his father telling that there is something called as general prayaschitta, asadharana prayaschitta. There is something general, and that is taking God's name. So he does not tell king that it is a general prayaschitta. He says, "Oh king, you do one thing. Go back to your palace, take bath, go in front of your altar, your deity, and say Narayana, Narayana, Narayana 3 times. Okay, and everything will be fine." King says, "That's it?" He says, "Yes." So I go back home, I take bath, and I go in front of Bhagavan, and I just say Narayana, Narayana, Narayana 3 times. That's it? He says, "Yes, that's it." So the king goes, takes bath and then goes there, and he goes in front of Bhagavan and says Narayana, Narayana, Narayana. And he feels so light that, oh, I think, it has worked. He becomes very happy. So when that guru, Rajaguru, that when he comes back, king is overjoyed and waiting with his entire retinue to welcome this guru. That what a great thing, your son has become now, very good, and you see, he is welcoming the guru. And when guru comes and he says what all these things, all these people are for what, then king welcomes and makes him sit and then explains, what happened, this happened and I did this wrong, and then I was searching for you, you were not there, your son was there, etc., etc. This happened and your son gave me one prayaschitta and it worked. It worked like anything, and I became so quiet after that. So father asks, "What did my son tell?" Son is also there. So he asks, "What did you tell?" So he says, "Nothing. I told that, you go back, take bath, go in front of Bhagavan and say Narayana, Narayana, Narayana 3 times. That's it." And in front of all these retinue, in front of all these people, this guru gives one tight slap to the son. Now everybody is stunned. What is this? We thought the son has done some good thing. Is the guru jealous of the son? What is happening? And the guru says that I understand why you gave this prayaschitta. I understand that you did not know a particular prayaschitta, sadharana prayaschitta, specific one you did not know, and therefore you gave this. I understand, but what was the need to say that take God's name 3 times? It shows that you don't have faith in God's name. He says power of God's name is such that even if you take it once, it will be sufficient. You see? Point is not that there is no power in God's name. There is so much of power in God's name that taking it once also will be sufficient. Mahabharata, it is written, no. Yasya smarana matrena janma samsara bandhanat vimuchyate. By whose mere remembrance you come out of this bondage of samsara. How can we doubt it? So please never take this japa or chanting God's name lightly. As many times as possible, we should keep taking. At some point of time it will click, because we have so much of negativities and distractions in our mind that we don't take that God's name with that much of faith, that much of devotion. But if we do that, taking it once also will suffice. Why do we keep taking it so many times? So that once will happen at some point of time. Right? So, jagi hoi je dhanne ya Ramaname. Chanting God's name, you can Ramanama, you can become blessed. Kriya, bhakti, upasana, nitya neme. So you do karma yoga. That is what he is referring to. How to become that blessed, that is the question, no? Kriya. Kriya means action. Action means karma yoga. Seva. Bhakti, devotion. Upasana, nitya. That nitya word is Dehali Deepanyaya, therefore it will give meaning both places. Nitya upasana. Nitya upasana means daily sadhana, daily practice, whatever you have decided. And nema, nitya nema. Nitya nema means regular disciplines. Whatever you have. Like for example, some people have disciplines of Ekadashi Upvasa or Chaturthi Vrata or Upvasa and all these. These are called as nemas. Nema means disciplines. Do all these things. Udasinata tattvata sara hai. Another very important thing that we need to practice is udasinata. Being indifferent towards the world of objects. This is the essence, he says. Tattvata sara hai. And that will come by study. Viveka, Vairagya, etc. will become stronger when we study Vedanta. Sada sarvada mokali vritti rahe. Keep your mind free of all kinds of thoughts of the world. So the second line is to be practiced with Vedanta, with the knowledge. And first line explains about Kriya Yoga, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Upasana, Nema, Nitya, Niyama, etc. Disciplines, etc. Do this so that you will become that blessed person. He continues. Let us read verse number 58. Nako vasana vishayi vritti rupe padarthi jade kamana purva pape sada rama nishkama chintita zava mana kalpana leshato hi nasava jai jai Raghuvira Samartha. He says, all these things, karma yoga, bhakti yoga, different upasanas, different disciplines, practice of knowledge, etc., all this will keep your mind focused on God. If that does not happen, then what will happen? Mind will focus on the world. So again he goes back to say, Nako vasana vishayi vritti rupe. Vishayachi vasana nako. Don't have desires for the world of objects. Vishaya means objects. Vritti rupe. The vasana, the impression becomes thought to go behind the objects. And then what will it do? Padarthi jade kamana purva pape. It will become one with that padartha, with that object. How? Because of purva papa, because of your old habits. Don't give that chance to the mind to go behind objects. Many times it happens with us also. We start following spiritual life, we start doing our sadhanas, but for few days it works, isn't it? I remember when earlier, when classes, etc., weekly classes we used to attend, and Sunday class will be there, then Sunday morning our Yuva Kendra class used to be there. So when we will come back from that Sunday class, we are all charged that I want to do sadhana and I want to do study, etc. And that evening there will be very beautiful, nice sadhana, everything we will do. Monday onwards, gone. Why? Because mind again gets attracted to the world. Then we get a thought, let me get up little late today. From tomorrow I will continue, but today, that once also if it falls, it will not. Why? Because purva pape, the old habits are very strong. Why we feel that doing sadhana regularly is a tough job? That is because we have not done sadhana for so many years, so many births probably. That old habits are dangerous. Therefore, what you should do? Sada Rama Nishkama Chintita Java. Please remember Bhagavan always Nishkama, without any desire. This is a very beautiful thing. Without any desire means what? Not that I want to get something and that's why I am doing this bhakti sadhana or that's why I am remembering God's name. Nishkama. To such an extent that I don't even want to know how many times I have chanted my God's name. There are many people, who decide that, okay, these many times japa should happen and therefore their entire focus remains on how many malas are over, how many things are over. I am not saying that it is a bad thing, etc. No, it is good. You will at least know whether you are doing it or not, but that cannot become focus. You can't say that I am taking God's name because I have decided that I will do it this many times. Initially it is okay because our mind is such, but after some time it should go beyond the calculation and beyond the number of malas and number of japas, etc. The focus cannot remain that. As I am saying again, don't take me wrong, I am not against all these things. It is always good to measure in the beginning, because then it is a discipline to the mind that for these many malas you have to sit and you have to do it. It's a disciplining mind, it's a good thing, but focus cannot remain that. You keep taking God's name, number of malas will automatically be over. Now, why you are worried about it and why you keep looking at it? It will happen automatically. Don't keep that as focus. Nishkama se chintita java. Mana kalpana leshato hi nasava. Do not even have a touch of desire to your mind. Kalpana lesha. Lesha means a small piece. Absolute small. Least of desire also should not be there in the mind. That is what should happen. So why do I love God? For no reason. Why do I remember God? For no reason. Do I want anything? No, I don't want anything. Are you in some state that you want God to change? No, I am happy wherever I am. Do you want to get something? No. But then why are you taking? Because I want to take. There is no other reason. He has already given me so much. I have to first thank Him for all that He has given. Where is the time to ask for something more? First let me thank for whatever I have. Right? Without any desire, keep taking God's name. If you don't do that, then what? Next verse number 59. Mana kalpana kalpita kalpakoti nave re nave sarvatha rama bheti mani kamana ram nahi jayala ati adare priti nahi tayala. Jai Jai Raghuvir Samartha. What a verse. He says, Mana Kalpana Kalpita Kalpakoti. Here Kalpa word he is doing, what is that? In English I don't know what it is called. When alliteration or something like that they say, no? Alliteration. When you use one phrase again and again, alliteration. Figure of speech, one of the figures of speech. No? So, but he is using it in different meaning. So, there is a Shesha also, Shesha Alankar is also there in Sanskrit, Marathi, etc. Shesha Alankar is there. Two meanings are there in one word and therefore the word is used twice to give both the meanings. Here he says, Mana Kalpana Kalpita Kalpakoti. Kalpana, desire. Kalpita, thinking. Kalpa is day of Brahmaji, that Kalpa. Kalpa Koti. He says that when the mind starts to imagine, it will imagine crores and crores of worlds. That much capacity mind has got. Therefore, when mind starts to go on its own ride, Nave re nave sarvatha rama bheti, you will have no, what do you call, bheta? Bheta means to meet. You will not meet Rama. Why? Because mind is busy in creating worlds. Oh, what if like this happens and what if like that happens? Imaginations. Don't allow mind to go on that route. Mani kamana rama nahi jayala. Where there is kama, there is no Rama. जहाँ काम है वहाँ राम नहीं और जहाँ राम है वहाँ काम नहीं. It's a simple logic. Where there is kama, where there is desire, Bhagavan is not there. And when Bhagavan is there, desires will not touch. Ati adare priti nahi tayala. And such a person will have no love for Lord or His name. Such a mind which is busy in imagining, when will that mind do any kind of sadhana? It will not do. See, the essence is, mind should enjoy doing sadhana. That is the secret of sadhana. Why? Because when mind starts to love something, you don't have to force mind to do it. All other times what happens is, mind likes eating so much and you are giving him sadhana of upvasa, of not eating. Mind likes to watch TV, wants to go out, wants to sleep, but you say no, get up, take bath and sit in front of God and do puja or japa or upasana, etc. Now, why there is so much of struggle? Because we are doing something that we don't like or mind doesn't like, and mind wants something else which we are not allowing. That is the problem. Once mind starts to enjoy sadhana, there is nothing like it. Then we don't have to tell mind to do it, mind will do it automatically. Again, this will happen by practice only. Please remember, I start loving something because I keep doing it. Then that love, then that interest is developed. Some people love music, some people love sports, some people love, so many other things. Literature. Why? Because they keep doing it and then they get an enjoyment. Then they keep doing it, then that chemical reaction happens and chain reaction, and then it just goes on multiplying. I have to keep doing my sadhana and keep having that interest in sadhana. Once that interest develops, once mind starts to like it, then there is no problem. You, while doing sadhana, do not keep any desire that you want to fulfill from God. Then what will happen, Then God will fulfill everything. But Ved, I don't have desire. Yes. The desires that you do not even have, the things that you don't even know that you require, God will give you. Why? Because God is capable of that. The next 6-7 verses are to explain that God is like that wish fulfilling tree. You don't have desire from that God, but God is capable of fulfilling desires of everyone. Let us see what he says. Verse number 60. Manarama kalpataru kamadhenu निधी सार चिंतामणी कायवानु जयाचे नियोगे घडे सर्व सत्ता तया साम्यता कायसी कोण आता जय जय रघुवीर समर्थ. He says, Mana, O my mind, Rama Kalpataru. Bhagavan Shrirama is Kalpataru. Now you see how he is. That word Kalpa, he is stuck with that. He is kept using that word Kalpa. See, earlier that Kalpana, Kalpita, that Kalpa word was used in a negative way. Their desire, selfish desire. Kalpa Koti, Kalpa was used different way. Now here Kalpa is wish, desire, but not your desire, but Bhagavan is Kalpataru. Bhagavan is that tree, wish fulfilling tree. Such things are there in Puranas, that there is a tree in the heaven. Under that tree, whatever you wish will become true. Kamadhenu, another example that we get is Kamadhenu, that wish fulfilling cow, which Vasishtha Rishi also had, and that cow. Chintamani, another example from Puranas, that there is a jewel, there is a money, that Chintamani, whatever you think of, it will make it true. Nidhi Sara Kaya, Chintamani Kayavanu, and he is the storehouse of all treasures. Who? God. God is Kalpataru, Kamadhenu, Nidhisara, Chintamani. Everything is God. Jaya Cheni Yoge Ghade Sarva Satta. By whose presence everything is happening. The entire world is going on because of his presence. Arjuna says to Krishna, Shri Krishna, after seeing his Virat Rupa, that Bhagavan, I have understood one thing. Very beautiful verse. I love that verse from Gita, where he says, Sthane Rishikesha Tava Prakirtya Jagat Prarishyati Anurajyate Cha. Oh God, by your grace, everything is at its place. Everything is happening the way it's supposed to be. In my ignorance, I may think that no, this should have happened like this, that should happen like this, that should happen like this. Why this government is coming, that other government should have come, and we have got less votes and they have got more votes. You may say whatever you want to say, but little bit if we think, we understand that whatever is happening is exactly how God plans. So everything is at its place, where it is supposed to be. Jagat prarushyati anurajyate cha. There are people who are praising you, O Lord, and there are people who are criticizing you, O Lord. Everything is by your design only. This is something that I have understood, says Arjuna. Jaya cheni yoge ghade sarvasatta, by whose presence the whole world is working. Taya samyata kayasi. Who is equal to that Lord? Kona aata, and who can describe that Lord? Nobody can. Please understand this point. God is extremely capable. He is Kalpataru, Kamadenu, Chintamani. He is capable of everything. Now that becomes a reason why we should not ask anything from God. You see, God can give you anything and everything, but you can't ask anything and everything. Your mind has a limitation of asking only this. Now imagine if your mind goes up to here and God gives you much more, then better not to ask. And logically also, it's better not to ask anything from God, because whatever we may ask, we will ask some stupid thing only. You go to a king and king says, ask whatever you want, and you say, I want pumpkin. Pumpkin, idiot, the king can give you acres and acres of land, and what you are asking is pumpkin. Imagine all our desires in front of God are like pumpkin only. Isn't it? Why? Because God can give everything, but my mind is this much only. I will say, I want to marry this person, I want that car, I want this house. Some stupid. Imagine for God, who is so capable to fulfill that petty wish of ours. So logically also, we should not ask anything. We should not have any desire when we are worshipping God. Why? He knows. He knows what I want, and He also knows what I need, which I also don't know what I want. But He knows. We say God is like mother. No, then mother knows what the child needs. The child doesn't know what the child needs, but the mother knows. Why are you worried? Let Him take care. Let Him decide what should be there with you and what should not be there. You do your job of praising, remembering and worshipping Lord. All other things, God will take care. Right? He is incomparable. Samyata kayasi. And therefore, just worship Him. Chalo, sufficient for today. Some more verses are there in that same line of thinking. We will see in the next session. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.